Hi guys, just a trigger warning, I am discussing some violent crimes today, so please take care of yourselves. Hey there Cozy Crime Crew, welcome back to Cozy Cults and Crimes, the podcast that cozies up to the most captivating and chilling of true crime stories. I'm your host Bubbles, and I'm here today to guide you through the shadowy lanes of Adelaide's history. Adelaide, my hometown, harboured secrets beneath its sun-kissed facade. Known as the city of churches, it also whispered darker tales, those of the city of corpses. In the 1970s and the 1980s, unsolved mysteries wove into our collective consciousness, much like the iconic Torrens River winding through our streets. Picture this. Sunbeams danced on stone buildings by day and families picnicked in lush parks. Cafes hummed with the clink of coffee cups, offering refuge from the cooling air. Yet, as twilight descended, a hush fell over Adelaide. The bustling streets emptied, the laughter turned to whispers, and concern etched lines on our faces. 5 young men, Alan, Neil, Peter, Mark, and Richard, vanished. Their last moments, they played out against familiar backdrops, bus stops, city squares, and winding streets. They boarded buses, disembarked, and walked past that would forever remain etched in mystery. Then, inexplicably, they vanished. And then there was Bevan Spencer von Einem, an unassuming accountant who hid a monstrous secret beneath his very average-looking exterior lay a sexual sadist preying on young men. His victims, aged 13 to 25, were drugged, assaulted, and discarded. But von Einem wasn't alone. Police suspected a network, a chilling, quote, family that operated in the shadows. Debbie Marshall's groundbreaking show, Frozen Lives, was the beacon that drew me into the enigmatic world of Adelaide's underbelly, a world I thought I may have known, but only on the surface. Her relentless pursuit of truth in the family murders has been inspirational, and her meticulous research forms the backbone of what we're talking about today. Debbie Marshall was crucial in pursuing transparency and justice in the family murders case. Her investigative efforts were instrumental in getting decades-old suppression orders on names lifted by the courts. This was a significant journalistic achievement as it allowed for the revelation of the explosive truth behind the, quote, family and its alleged crimes. Marshall's determination to uncover the story, the full story, led her to challenge these suppression orders, which had kept crucial information out of the public eye. By succeeding in this endeavour, she brought new facts to light and reignited public interest and scrutiny into the case, which had profound implications for the ongoing investigation. Her work exemplifies dedicated journalism's impact on complex criminal cases, especially those shrouded in such secrecy as this one. Marshall's actions have been pivotal in ensuring that the story of these victims and the search for justice continues to be told. So as we embark on this journey to unravel the family murders, let's do so with the same spirit of inquiry that Debbie Marshall embodies. Grab your favourite drink, settle in, and let's dive into one of the darker chapters of Adelaide's past, and one that continues to haunt us to this day. The family murders cast a long and ominous shadow over Adelaide in the 1970s and 80s. I will say this is before my time. I am only 30. Marking a period of profound unease and tragedy. Young men, often in the prime of their lives, began to vanish under mysterious circumstances. These individuals, typically vibrant and full of potential, were last seen in familiar public places at that. Socialising with friends, heading to work, or simply just enjoying the city's offerings. Their sudden disappearances left a palpable void in the community, stirring fear and sorrow equally. The impact of these events rippled through Adelaide as the city grappled with the realisation that such horrors could unfold right in their midst. The ensuing police investigation was extensive and multifaceted, involving numerous officers and resources desperately trying to uncover the truth. The cases underscored the fragility of safety and the imperative need for community vigilance. Each disappearance served as a stark reminder of the vulnerability of society's youth and the critical importance of protecting them. As the community banded together for answers, the police faced the daunting task of piecing together the very few and scant clues that were left behind. The urgency of these investigations were underscored by the family's pleas for information and the public's growing demand for resolution. The family murders were not merely a series of crimes, they were a catalyst for change, prompting a societal call to action to safeguard the young and the innocent from the lurking dangers of the world around. Now, in today's episode, we're not just recounting events. And this is very important to me. We're breathing life into the stories of these 5 young men whose dreams were cut so tragically short by these horrific murders, by these horrific people. These are the sons of Adelaide, whose legacies deserve to be remembered in vivid colour and heartfelt detail. Alan Barnes, a 17-year-old with a contagious laugh and a knack for making friends, vanished into thin air one winter's day. He was the kind of guy who'd offer you his last piece of gum, the one who stayed late after school just to kick the footy around with you. His sister remembers him as the boy with the sunniest laugh, whose absence turned their home into a quiet space, missing the music of his presence. His friends recall the countless afternoons spent at the park where Alan's humour was the highlight of their day. Neil Muir. At 25, he was the life of the party, a talented musician whose guitar strings wove stories of hope. He had big plans to take the music world by storm. And Neil's untimely death didn't just rob us of his future, it stole the melodies that could have been. His mother has spoken of her son's dreams of strumming his guitar on the big stage, his room adorned with posters of rock legends he aspired to emulate. His bandmates reminisce about Neil's unwavering dedication to perfecting every chord and every lyric. I'm sorry, this is it's sad. Peter Stogneff, just 14, was the kid brother everyone wished they had. His curiosity was boundless as the Adelaide sky, his smile a beacon in the classroom. A piece of the city's innocence vanished with him the day he vanished. His classmates share a story of a boy whose hand was always first to shoot up in class, eager to answer and eager to learn. His brother tells of Peter's collection of model planes, a testament to a passion for flight that should have taken him to the skies. Mark Langley, an 18-year-old with dreams of becoming an engineer, was known for his quiet strength and his gentle heart. He was the one you'd find helping out at the local community centre, always there with a helping hand. Mark's loss was felt deeply, as if the very promise of tomorrow had dimmed. His family's recollection of his quiet acts of kindness, like when he spent his savings to buy his grandma a birthday gift, echo his gentle spirit. His peers remember Mark's shy smile, which spoke volumes, without saying a word. And then finally, there's Richard Kelvin, the 15-year-old with a bright future in journalism, much like his father. Richard had a way with words that could light up a room, a young talent on the cusp of greatness. His abduction shook the city to its core. He was the son of a news anchor. It was a stark reminder of the fragility of life. His father described him as a young man with an old soul and wise beyond his years. His school friends recall how Richard could captivate a room with a story, a skill that promised a future just as bright as his father's. These anecdotes bring us closer to the essence of who these beautiful young men were. Sons, brothers, friends, dreamers. Their legacies live on, not just in the annals of crime, but in the cherished memories held dear by those who loved them most. Now, this year marks a pretty sad anniversary in the annals of Adelaide's history. It's been 40 years since Bevan Spencer von Einem was charged with the murder of Richard Kelvin, a case that still haunts our city. Von Einem is the only person convicted in connection to the family murders. He received a life sentence for the murder of Richard Kelvin, and the trial was significant, involving complex forensic evidence and witness testimonies. Despite his conviction, there were other suspected members of the, quote, family, a group believed to be involved in the crimes. Also, the media named them the family. It wasn't the police, it was the media who dubbed them the family. Police suspected that up to 12 individuals, some high profile, were part of this network. 3 core members, apart from von Einem, were thought to be directly involved, but no further charges have been laid following DNA testing. A cold case review in 2008 and a significant reward offered for information leading to a conviction have not yet resulted in any additional arrests. In 1984, the evidence presented was strong. Fibres from von Einem's home and car matched those found on Kelvin's body, and witness testimonies placed von Einem with Kelvin on the day he disappeared. The trial revealed the harrowing details of Kelvin's abduction, captivity, and the unspeakable acts that led to his death. Von Einem's conviction brought some level of closure, but it also opened a Pandora's box of questions. This shadowy collective, known as the family, loomed over the proceedings, suggesting a network of individuals involved in a series of crimes that had terrorised our community. And here we are, in 2024, and the whispers about the family still persist. Some of their names are suppressed, but speculation about their identities is rife, often finding its way onto forums like Reddit. I'm not naming any names here. I'm not looking to invite any sort of trouble, but it is very clear that this story does not and has not ended with von Einem being behind bars. The trial may have concluded, but the search for truth didn't stop at the courthouse steps for many. It's a search that continues today, a testament to the resilience of those who demand justice and the strength of a community who refuses to forget. The family murders didn't just leave a trail of grief, they left an indelible mark on the heart of Adelaide. For the families of the victims, the passing of 40 years hasn't dimmed the pain or the longing for answers. And how could it? The aftermath of these tragedies rippled through the community, altering the very fabric of how Adelaideans interact with each other. Trust, once given freely, became guarded. Once bustling with carefree energy, the vibrant city life now carried a whisper of caution. And even I can say there was still that whisper of caution when I was a teenager and in the city, used to hang out in the city. But there was also growth from this darkness. Law enforcement practices evolved, with new forensic techniques emerging from the shadows of the past. Community awareness heightened, and a collective resolve to protect the vulnerable became a cornerstone of Adelaide's ethos. The media too played its part. Programs like Debbie Marshall's Frozen Lies and her other tireless work kept the conversation alive, ensuring that the victims and their stories were never forgotten. Through these narratives, we continue to seek closure and honour the memories of those lost and advocate for the truth. As we reflect on the lasting impact of the family murders, we recognise the strength of the families who have endured so much. Their resilience inspires us, and their quest for justice reminds us that some wounds may never fully heal. Still, the pursuit of healing is definitely a journey worth taking. As the years turned into decades, the family murders etched themselves into Adelaide's collective memory. But what remains now? What legacy do these tragic events leave behind? For the families of the victims, the pain lingers. The void left by their loved ones is a wound that time hasn't fully healed and probably never will. But they have also become advocates, voices that refuse to be silenced. Their tireless efforts keep the memories alive, urging us to seek justice and compassion. Law enforcement practices evolved, forensic science advanced. The media continued to tell the stories, ensuring that the victims weren't reduced to mere statistics. And Adelaide? Well, our city learned to look beneath the surface, to acknowledge that darkness can lurk even in the sunniest corners. It also taught us that justice isn't always swift, but a pursuit worth every single damn worth of effort. It's a reminder that empathy and vigilance are our allies against the shadows. As we reflect on the legacy of the family murders, we honour the victims, celebrate the resilience of their families, and pledge to keep seeking answers. Because in the end, it's not just about closure. It's about ensuring that their stories echo through time. Before I truly sign off, I would like to extend a massive thank you to Debbie Marshall. Her unwavering dedication to the family murders story and her relentless fight for the victims is awe-inspiring to me. Journalists like Debbie remind me that these stories are more than just tales. They're calls to action, cries for justice, and testaments to the human spirit. Debbie, your work inspires me daily, and I know it touches the heart of all who follow this harrowing saga. Thank you for all you've done. If today's episode has touched you or stirred something within, please take a moment for yourself. Practice self-care, reach out to a friend, or simply enjoy a warm cup of tea while you're wrapped in your dressing gown. It's my favourite thing to do. Look after yourselves, because it's in looking after ourselves that we find the strength to face the complexities of life. Until next time, keep that flame of curiosity burning, but never forget the warmth of the fires that keep us all connected. Be well, stay cozy, and remember, in pursuing the truth, we always hope to find the light. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Bubbles, and I look forward to our next episode in the world of cozy cots and crimes. I'll see you soon. Bye!